for a 7-year-old to just disappear.
He just vanished with no trace. There's no cameras, there's no witnesses, it was just nothing.
Everybody's a suspect at the beginning. Everybody in the area, they all remember Patrick.
We still like to think he's out there somewhere, and that one day we'll find him.
I'm begging you as a mother to just please let my son come home.
I'm investigating a little boy that went missing 10 years ago from this building right here. If you could, please take that and maybe show it to somebody or put it in a store someplace close to where you live. Any information that we get would be greatly appreciated. It'll be 10 years in about a month, on January 22nd. It was one of those cases that it touches everybody's heart because that's the nightmare of a parent, of a child disappearing.
Patrick, he was a very smart, funny, he was a good brother to his little sisters. He's a very good kid. He was like the best thing that ever happened to me. I try to keep him active, like go to school, take him to the park, cook their dinner. You know, I had a routine with them. My mother had a history of drugs and my father died when he was 34, I was 8. So, like everything I've been through when I was young, I wanted to be totally different. I didn't want my kids to ever experience that. I didn't get help from my childhood. So as I started having my children at teen years, it started being overwhelming for me. Jaylene was 4, Patrick was 7. And I was just going through my depression, I was crying. I just felt like I couldn't deal with what was going on anymore. So I called and I told them that I was high. I told them that I needed them to come take my children so I could go get the help that I need to get better for my children.
She says I voluntarily gave them to child services because she wanted to help herself with her substance abuse issues. She just thought this was the best way to help them.
And that was the worst thing I ever did in my life.
Patrick and Jaylene were placed with their foster mother on the 29th of December in 2009.
He was extremely unhappy. You know, a little 7-year-old boy removed from his mom. And from what I'm told, the foster mom didn't speak English at all, only Spanish.
I was angry, but I couldn't do anything. I reported it to the agency. The agency said they was gonna take care of it, and they didn't take care of it.
Like most kids, I mean, all you know is your mother. You're like, he loved his mother very much, and that's all he wanted to be with. His foster mother and him were supposed to go out and put garbage in the garbage bin in the hallway. When the phone rang, she went back to answer the phone, and he went down the hall on his own. The sister was standing in the doorway, saw that he disappeared. She didn't know where he went.
She said she remembers that day like it was yesterday. She don't know what happened to her brother. She said, "Patrick!" And was no response to his voice.
He was actually seen by a neighbor up on the 16th floor around the same time frame that he went missing, but that's the last sighting of Patrick on the 22nd.
I woke up on January 23rd to a bang on my door, and the detective, he has this flyer in his hand, and it's on his face. And he's like, "We're looking for your son." I'm like, "What do you mean looking for my son?" He's like, "Your son disappeared last night."
A massive search is underway in Brooklyn for a 7-year-old boy who went missing from a foster home.
Police responded about 30 minutes after the foster mother discovered that he was missing. They searched the trash compactors in the building, they searched the elevator shafts. Aviation came and they did a search of all the rooftops, all the vacant parking lots and shopping centers in the area to see if they can get sighting of him.
The bloodhounds that were brought in traced his scent to a bus stop directly outside the building, 130 Vidalia Avenue. That's where the scent was lost.
Every one of those buildings in that area were searched. Every door was knocked on. Every person that was in and around the area was interviewed. There's several waterways right around that area that were searched by our Scooby team on several different dates to see if he happened to have gotten into the water. They all turned up negative.
There's no cameras, there's no witnesses, it was just nothing. Just unbelievable how a child could just vanish and nobody knew nothing.
It definitely has us still scratching our heads.
Jennifer Rodriguez was arrested today under suspicion she was involved in her son's disappearance.
I just felt like, wow, my son's missing after I called Juice for help and then you throw me in jail.
It wasn't just Jennifer, that they followed up with aunts and uncles and cousins just to see if there's any connection to anyone that could have taken him, maybe thought they had a better place for him. It was told to us that he was very street smart and that he could have found his way back to his home in Staten Island on his own.
He was in only pajamas, and it was the middle of January at night. If he tried to run away on his own, I don't think he would make it very far.
I believe that if he had the opportunity to call me, he would have. Because he knew my number by heart. He knew his address, he knew everything. He would have reached out to us.
The mother of missing Patrick Alford has filed a federal lawsuit against New York City, alleging state negligence and failure to care for the 7-year-old.
The $6 million goes to the private investigator, the reward, and the billboard. Anything that can be used towards finding my son.
In June, we decided to put up a billboard. And I wanted the billboard close to where Patrick disappeared. I wanted it to be in the area so people who maybe work in the area for 10 years or longer, something may jar their memory. I got one credible lead that after I followed up on it, it absolutely made me believe that Patrick is alive someplace. The lead let it be known that they think that he was brought to Puerto Rico, that he may be in Puerto Rico right now. And it's a lead that I've been following ever since. Hi, miss. I'm investigating the disappearance of this little boy, Patrick Alford. Someone from my team is out here at least once a week, distributing flyers and asking questions to anybody that will stop and talk with us about the disappearance or the memory of Patrick.
This might be the year that they feel the need to actually call and give us the information that we need to find out what actually happened to him.
There's a $250,000 reward. There's also a Crime Stoppers reward from the NYPD for $12,000. It's a substantial reward for information leading to Patrick's safe recovery.
I just need to find my son. It's like a nightmare, not knowing anything. I have hope that he's gonna come home, but my life will never be complete and 100% happy without my son. Like, how can I? I would tell Patrick, I love you, I'm never gonna give up on you, and be strong.